What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, it has now been reported that newly crowned unified WBC WBO junior middleweight world champion, Sebastian Fundora, the towering inferno, Mexican superstar boxer, who is an anomaly in the sport of boxing, at 6'6", 80-inch arm reach, fighting at 154 pounds. He just upset and defeated the son of a legend, Australian superstar, former now world champion, Tim Tszyu, via split decision. That was my prediction for the fight. But nonetheless, with that said, Sebastian Fundora has some fighters nipping at his heels. Two fighters in particular that were supposed to have a fight of their own. That's Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol the True Spence Jr. Now, we all know and see the politics. Sebastian Fundora, Tim Tszyu, they're both with Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Heyman. And so they're trying to keep everything in-house, right? So now, Terrence Crawford, who's a network promotional free agent, and just dominated and beat and stopped Errol Spence in July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, to be exact. He just stopped him, right? With that said, Terrence Crawford was supposed to have an immediate rematch with Errol Spence that they agreed upon, that the loser has the right to petition for an immediate rematch, and the winner is contractually obligated to fulfill. But he has perks because he will get an automatic bigger share of the pie and be able to choose what weight class they fought. Now, they fought at welterweight for undisputed. They both had plans to move to 154, junior middleweight. So it seemed to be like a foregone conclusion they was going to move up in weight. So, with that said, Terrence Crawford dominates the fight. Errol Spence immediately in the ring says that he wants his get back. Even tells his little one, got to run that back. Got to get out, get back, right? He wanted it in December. But Showtime got out the business of the sport of boxing after 37 years, abruptly, just shockingly, out of nowhere. Now, with that said, PBC had to find a new home, and then Errol Spence had cataract surgery. So it hindered the rematch. Then it was said that Errol Spence decided that he was going to move on from the Terrence Crawford rematch simply because they didn't want to hold up Terrence Bud Crawford. Why? Because Errol Spence physically would not have been ready, right? So because Errol Spence physically would not have been ready to fulfill his obligation to Terrence Crawford, you had Stephen Espinosa. He came out, he said, well, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, they came to an agreement. Errol Spence understood. Listen to what Stephen Espinosa had to say. Stephen Espinosa, he said, they came to an agreement because physically Errol Spence couldn't fulfill his obligation, right? Let's listen what Stephen Espinosa had to say.
We wanted another shot, and obviously, Crawford, being the gentleman that he is and the businessman that he is, he said, okay, whether it was exactly the terms of the rematch clause or not, he was certainly willing to do it. But then, there's some eye surgery, there's a recovery there, and there's a reality that it's not fair to keep Crawford waiting forever to do that. So I think it was, they put their heads together, tried to make it come together. Other factors came in, including the eye surgery, including some medical, things, and they each, decided, look, let's not hold each other up over this. So I think it was not, again, one of those, it's like, this guy was scared of that. No, it's none of that. It was brilliant. It just couldn't come together as quickly as possible. We're not sure when we're going to see Errol back. And in the meantime, it made sense to work.
So he said in the meantime, he said, we don't know when Errol Spence was going to be back. He had the eye surgery, some other medical issues popped up, and we don't know he's going to be back in the ring. And it didn't make sense to hold up Terrence Crawford. So Terrence Crawford decided, okay, since I'm not doing the rematch and I'm going to 154 anyway, I agreed to that with Errol Spence. I'm going to petition the World Boxing Organization, better known as the WBO, President Mr. Paco, to be the mandatory for Tim Tszyu. Right? Okay. They do all the paperwork, all of the legwork. And then suddenly, because Tim Tszyu was supposed to fight Keith Thurman, Errol Spence has no interest in fighting Keith Thurman. And Keith Thurman was fighting Tim Tszyu with no belt on the line. But Keith Thurman popped his bicep. When he tore his bicep, okay, Keith Thurman was pulled out the fight. Inserted Sebastian Fundora, who was already on the undercard fighting for the vacant WBC title that was vacated by Jamel Charlo. Now they just elevated Sebastian Fundora to fight Tim Tszyu. Now Tim Tszyu belt is on the line, 154, and the WBC. That's how we got here. Then suddenly, Errol Spence comes out the woodwork and he says, I want to fight the winner now. They just said that you had health issues and you couldn't fulfill your obligations to Terrence Crawford with the rematch. Now you're going to be healthy to fight Tim Tszyu? Fundora winner? And then Fundora wins and then you say you're going to fight Sebastian Fundora in Texas at AT&T Stadium? But not Terrence Crawford? Okay. Now, here's the kicker. Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora have just been suspended for 6 months. Today. So this is April. So you're saying May, June, July, August, September. The winner won't be cleared until September. Then they need 2 months of training camp. October, November. Hence the reason why, as soon as the WBO informed Sebastian Fundora and his team, Al Heyman, the PBC, and TGB, Tom Brown Promotions, that they had a week to start beginning negotiations with Terrence Crawford, suddenly, Tim Tszyu, Sebastian Fundora's team, Samson Lickowitz, he comes out and says, Sebastian Fundora won't be ready to fight until November. How did he know that? No coincidence, right? So he won't be ready to fight till November. So the question is Errol Spence healthy to fight right now, or are they just planning for the future? And they knew this was going to be the case, and they prolonging it. So now that they're physically unable to perform because of a medical issue, then Tim Tszyu can't be stripped of his titles. See, they're threatening to strip him from the WBO if he don't negotiate for Terrence Crawford. Now he's going to cite a medical issue. That way he don't have to fight Terrence Crawford and don't have to be stripped of his belt. Right? And now they're trying to wait Terrence Crawford out. But I got a solution. See, since Errol Spence is saying that he wants the winner, and now Sebastian Fundora is now medically unable to perform until November. Well, now let's order Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. And the winner gets the Sebastian Fundora fight. I keep wanting to say Tim Tszyu because he was the favorite and he was the champion. And it's new to say Sebastian Fundora is the champion that won. So pardon me. So with that said, now order Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Since Errol Spence won the winner, Terrence Crawford wants the belts. Now the way is cleared again. You wanted the rematch. Let's get the rematch. At 154, the winner gets the champion, Sebastian Fundora. Now you don't have to wait about Sebastian Fundora, worry about him being stripped of any belts. Now the winner automatically fights him for 2 belts. Period. Let's order Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Why are you going to sit on the shelf and wait? Now, the WBC and the WBO should order Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford to be the mandatory for the belts while Sebastian Fundora recovers. Because he ain't going to be able to fight until at least November, December, the end of the year. We at the top of the year, the beginning of the year. 12 months in a year, and we only on the 4th one. The beginning of the 4th one. The first week of the 4th one. So order Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Errol Spence ain't fight since July. Terrence Crawford ain't fight since July. Not like they just had a fight and they got to recover from. So let's order Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence for July again. How about that? It's only right, right? So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.